Hello, everyone. I'm Angella Nazarian, and I am so privileged to have Jill Iscol here today. She is a doctor of education, a Yale sociologist, a social activist, and an author of the newly released book, Hearts on Fire. You know, what is very interesting to me is that a girlfriend of mine actually gifted your book to me. And when I read it, first of all, I didn't even know that she knew you personally. And I read it, of course. Tina Brown has written a glowing review of your book. It's one of the most inspiring books I've read. And then you have the introduction that Bill Clinton has written for you. So right away, my ears perk up, and I'm thinking, who is this lady? And I have to say, each of the stories in this chapter, in these chapters, are so inspirational. And that motivated me to reach out to you, especially because I had just published my own book, Pioneers of the Possible. And here I was trying to capture the spirit of visionary women around the world. And you were doing it in a different way, with a different perspective, really capturing the spirit of a generation of leaders that are doing innovative things. So, what motivated you to write your book?
Well, first of all, I loved your book, and I want to say that one of the things that came to my mind, and I promise I'll get to the answer to your question,
Yeah.
but one of the things that came to my mind when I was looking and reading your book was the fact that both of us allow ourselves to use a language that I'm not sure men would use. We can talk about love and
That's true.
caring without feeling as though we're not talking about our mission and the results of what we want to do. And Angela, I just want to read a little line which struck me when I was reading it, and I said, "Go girl." Angela wrote that there is a life force, there is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action, when she was talking about motivation. And I think that the whole notion of a life force and the vitality and Jacqueline Novogratz, who talks about morality and love, is just important to keep in mind as we continue this conversation.
Absolutely, and I do want to talk about that because Dilma Rousseff, who's now the president of Brazil, and she was speaking to the UN, and she said, courage, hope, love, they're all feminine in gender.
There you go.
And this is the feminine way of leading. So it's right, on target with what you're saying.
Yep. So I'll try to be brief. So I was motivated to write the book because for the past 20 years, I have been working as the founder and director, president of a family foundation in the not-for-profit sector, both contributing resources and my time to so many not-for-profits. But mostly what happened was I started to be absolutely smitten by the fact that I was meeting the most extraordinary people who could do anything with their time, their talents, their gifts, their intelligence, and had chosen to dedicate themselves to improving the quality of life for others. And I was struck by that at a time in the 90s when there was this big tech bubble. And when you talk to any of the young people, they wanted to go to college and make a gazillion dollars.
Right.
And I said back then, in the late 90s actually, I said, that's actually, we need to put a message out there to college students and to young people that there are multiple ways to have a meaningful life. And whether or not you participate as a not-for-profit leader or founder or get involved in that sector, it's important because it will feed your heart and soul more than if you give, you'll get back much more. But anyway, so I was looking at my 65th birthday a couple of years ago, and I had been very involved with politics as well as the not-for-profit sector. And after Hillary Clinton lost the primary,
please do talk about your role in the campaign.
Well, I was very, very, very involved in both Hillary Clinton's Senate campaign as well as her primary campaign. And I was one of the few women at the very top of the food chain, so to speak, when it came to the finance.
Right.
And it was, I think that she has been an incredible role model for so many women around the world because she keeps on putting herself out there no matter how much people want to beat her down. She tries again and again and she gives more and more and more. So although she has gotten over the fact that she lost the primary and went on to be Secretary of State,
Right.
in 2008 when she lost, I had felt that she was treated very poorly by other women.
Absolutely. There's lots of polls
Yeah.
showing that women were the ones who were least supportive of her.
And particularly in our party.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I needed to take a break because it was too ugly. And this has nothing to do with Obama and how I feel about him. I think we need to
Right.
ensure that he's reelected. But it had to do with a very bad taste in my mouth about how people were treating one another in politics. So I decided to leave politics for a while, and I turned to my adult children and said, okay, now what am I going to do? And they pointed out to me that, in fact, I had been like a venture capitalist in the not-for-profit field because I was picking people to support and become involved with who ended up being incredible leaders. Jacqueline Novogratz from Acumen Fund, Billy Shore from Share Our Strength, Jonah Edelman for Stand for Children, Margot Strom for Facing History and
It's incredible.
Ourselves.
The list of the people that Jill is talking about is really remarkable.
Thank you. So they said, you've got to write about that. Hence, I interviewed lots of people for a book called Hearts on Fire, 12 Stories of Today's Visionaries, Igniting Idealism into Action. And I wanted to share with the rest of with whoever wanted to read or know about it how inspiring these people are who are working on the ground, trying to solve problems, rolling up their sleeves, not looking at it, scratching their heads, saying, well, leave it to somebody else, not sitting at dinner tables complaining about the state of the world, but actually taking enormous risks, displaying courage, and trying to fix specific problems.